Ye come here, gather round the stage. The time has come for us to voice our rage against the ones who've trapped us in a cage, to steal from us the value of our wage. From underneath the vesture of law, the lobbyists at Washington do gnaw. At liberty the bureaucrats guffaw, and until they are purged we won't withdraw. We'll occupy the streets, we'll occupy the courts, we'll occupy the offices of you, till you do the bidding of the many, not the few.
Welcome back to Occupy Now News. I'm Robert James, and this week we look at a sector of the Occupy movement that is working to assist individuals who are having their homes foreclosed on. That's right. After taking our tax dollars, destroying our economy, and causing one of the worst crises this country has ever seen, they have the nerve to foreclose on the people's homes.
My name is Bobby Hall. I live at 3712 Columbus Avenue South. I've been here since 1968. I went to school at Bancroft, Bryant, and Clinton, Central High School. Well, this is my mother's house, and Mom had a big heart, you know. She let nobody sleep outside. If you were here at dinner time, you ate. And if there wasn't enough food, we'd ration it out. Everybody ate. Yeah, Mom took in kids, strays, dogs, cats, women, children, men, anybody. In 1971, I was in boot camp in the Marine Corps. I had nothing else to spend my money on, you know. So why not send it home, you know? I had a good mother. She took care of a lot of us, and I want to take care of her. My two nephews and my granddaughter, they live here. I got a real close relationship with my granddaughter. It's what I do with most of my children. I'm a cornerstone. I'm right here on the corner, but I am the cornerstone. If there's a problem in the neighborhood, they come here. If you can't get in your house, I got keys to your house. You know, I have an open door policy, and the neighbors walk in. They announce themselves, hey, I'm here. You know, Miss Hill, she can't get her, you know, get out to shovel her sidewalk. We do it. Victor needed his backyard cleared out for trees so he can throw all these parties he does for the neighborhood. We did it. Oh, I've been making payments up until about a year ago, and I went through a stimulus program. I've been in and out of surgery, and I missed a couple payments. And I was talking to some of these home modification programs, and they told me, well, if you're behind, that's fine. Don't pay them no more money. Let's see if we can't modify your loan. And if you don't pay them, they'll come back to you. Rather, you know, they'll chase you for the money. It didn't work. You know, the banks just won't accept their offers, and the offers that the bank did accept wasn't going to do me any good anyways. But they didn't even let me know that they had approved the program. And so by the time they let me know the program had been approved, I was already 2 months behind on the program. You know. It got real confusing. They would send me out an application, and I'd fill it out and send it back. They'd send me 3 to 4 more applications within the next 2 days, and I'd fill them out and send them back. I'd call them up, and they would say that they didn't have my information, and I'd give it to them over the phone. It'd come back later on that, you know, it was the wrong information, and they asked the wrong questions. I provided them with all the documentations, you know, that I had, and it just never panned out. I plan on going back to work. I'm a young man. Well, I have two sources of work that I'd like to go back into. One would be solar and hydrogen fuel cells, you know, alternative energy. Also back to modifying concrete. You know, I do architectural designs in concrete. I carve and as the same. About the same time, yeah, as spring's coming in, February or so, toward the end of March, I'll be fit to go back to work again. But, you know, I'll be out in the street. With my budget, I need to be able to pay $800 to $900. You know, not 12 to 15. Well, it used to be $125 a month when my mother and I had it. I'd like them to make my house affordable. You know, I'd love to stay here. I want to stay here. I've been here and I deserve to stay here. You know, I just need to be able to pay a price that I can live with. You know, that's what our president said. Make homes affordable. It's crazy. You know, we need to put the work back into the working class people. We need to put money into the poor people. When the rich people got money, they hoard it. When the poor people got money, they have to spend it. Spending money makes the economy grow. And we're supposed to unite. That's what our forefathers did. You know, you watch my back, I got yours. You know, we are the United States, and we haven't been united for a while. And we need people who care about people, and we need to protect our country, whether it's from foreign or domestic. And I think right now our fight is domestic.
Wow. Kind of touches home there. You see, I can feel what Bobby's saying because my mother had our home built in the early 60s. And when she passed in 2005, after taking one of those scam loans and making her payments consistently, she owed more on her home than she did when she took out the loan, and 3 times what it cost her to have the thing built back in the 60s. Now, where is the logic in this? The home was eventually sold by the mortgage company for its 60s true price of $12,000. Glad to see Occupy Our Homes making a difference. And if you want more information on Occupy Our Home, go to occupyourhomes.org. Now, let's go ahead and move forward here. Now to our next story. While most Americans have become aware of the Occupy movement due to the many encampments springing up across the country, many fail to appreciate the true size of the movement because of the work that goes on behind the scenes. Several calls to action have been responded to, the largest to date being the West Coast port shutdown that extended across the nation, even around the world, as many rose up in solidarity. Still, there's a larger force not yet accounted for in the form of social media that helps to spread the word as well as searches out information for educating our possible legal actions. Newsmakers and reporters that help to share on a daily basis the news of the occupation nation. One member took a look at Twitter, and here's what he found.
Okay, it's currently 3:09 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'm sitting here on my computer in Miami, and I'm keeping up with Occupy Wall Street. You know, they raided the encampment, and they arrested a New York Times reporter that chased out a CBS helicopter from the air, and they stripped a bunch of press passes from reporters, and they beat up a city council member, and he had a bloody head from what I'm reading, and there's a lot going on here. And this is the Occupy Wall Street Twitter stream. I just wanted you to see how crazy that is right now at 3:10 a.m. And what I have here on my computer, I have a bunch of different streams where I keep up with everything around the country. You're trying to keep up with it, and you can see Occupy Denver, which is not moving. You can see Occupy Seattle. You can see, hold on a second, I'm moving over here. You can see, you know, San Diego, that moving. And here's the other Occupy Wall Street movement. You know, that's 2 streams. This is low compared to OWS, and that's Miami Beach 401 that I keep up with too. And here's, you know, my DMs and my other streams. But then if you move out here, Denver slow, Seattle, back to OWS. Occupy Miami is not moving. Occupy Phoenix, nothing. Occupy MIA, that's Miami, that's not moving. Occupy Sacramento. These are all streams that have seen a lot of action, you know, in recent weeks, given the time. You know, Occupy Atlanta, Oakland, which has seen a lot of action, but right now is not moving at all. And here's Occupy Vancouver, which is not moving. And this is Injustice News. That's Injustice Everywhere's Twitter stream. He does a great job on keeping up with things. And I have other Twitter streams where I've created, for example, photojournalist arrested, where I keep up with things, and photographer arrested, and reporter arrested. And you know, I'm getting here a lot of the stuff from the New York Times reporter who was arrested up in New York tonight, because to be honest with you, I can't keep up with the other one. There's no way. It's hard to just keep up with that. I mean, I don't know if you can, because even if you see something interesting, you can't even click on it. You know, it just moves so fast. I got my cursor here, and I see something like, oh, and I miss it. So that, ladies and gentlemen, that is the modern day newsroom. Here I am working from home on my computer, and that's it, man. That's the wire. That's the modern day wire. We used to have the wire services, and look at that. That's insane. That's citizen journalism at its best, and the world is watching, even though they're trying their best not to allow us to watch. But we are watching, and this is far from over.
That's right. The whole world is watching. And thanks to the OccuTweeters, everything is being recorded. We don't forget, we don't forgive. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on to our next segment of the show here. There are still many individuals out there that, for some strange reason, simply just don't get it. There's a very good chance that that reason is mainstream media. They're trying their best, as he said, to keep us from watching, to keep us from learning, to keep us from understanding. But here's someone that might be able to help.
Honest, right from the top of this video, I feel a little stupid, full disclosure. I didn't really understand what this whole Occupy Wall Street thing was about. I'm not going to pretend like I understood it and I was with it the whole way, because I didn't get it at all. But I asked some people and it got explained, and I did a little research and I figured it out for myself. And so now I thought I would make you guys a video and explain it so nobody's left out in the dark. Because I know I'm not the only idiot out there that doesn't understand what's going on. In a nutshell, OWS, or Occupy Wall Street, is about people utilizing the right to assemble and their freedom of speech to speak out against corporate greed. You keep hearing about the 99 and the 1%. The 1% are basically the richy riches who are doing better since the downfall of our economy. They're profiting off of it. The 99% is pretty much everybody else. Anyone who's lost a job, lost their home, lost their retirement or pension, who can't afford medical insurance, who can't afford to pay for their medical bills or afford to pay for anything else. The 99% are the majority. It matters because there's corruption within our system, and it's adversely affecting the 99%. And if you haven't figured it out yet, the 99% is America. The OWS movement just wants to bring attention to economic injustice, where corporations are not running our government, where profits are not being placed ahead of people, where we can establish a true democratic structure again, where officials are being held accountable for the decisions that are being made that affect the people. To break it down even further, OWS is for opposing corporate greed, holding corporations accountable, and supporting a stronger middle class. They're simply using their right to assemble and their right to freedom of speech to bring this to the attention of everybody else who was in the dark, like myself. There you go. Hope you understand that that is what that is about. Now you know. Now you can decide for yourself. Are you the 1% or are you the 99? I don't know. That's for you to decide.
Very healthy movement. So I'm not likely to be the one to say, well, why don't you get a bath and go get a job and quit crybaby, and I don't like that at all. I think that's a misunderstanding of where the unemployment comes from. The unemployment comes from policy, government policy. And it's the Federal Reserve and the business cycle is not a consequence of free markets. That doesn't mean I think they're all perfect out there. There probably are some people that, not exactly are the most ambitious people in the world, but overall, I think it's wrong to come down and say that we just criticize them rather than saying, what responsibility do we in the government have, the Congress and the President, for creating the conditions that have made them so upset.
We are the 99%. We are the 99%. We are the 99%. We are